everyone, and welcome to the channel. I'm back to break down this 8-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings. Before we get into it, if you do enjoy the content at any point in this video, if you could leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. If I offer you any value, if you're entertained, if you think, I can stick around, I like this content, or if you want to become an better NBA DFS player, I plan on covering all of the above, so just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you are interested in some further content from me, you can go ahead and check out my Patreon package over here on Patreon, where I have released an NBA DFS package. You get access to my premium NBA projections, my NBA data sheet, my player stats, my team stats, my play context stats, my core plays, injury impact insights, and NBA Discord chat access. I've been playing NBA DFS since 2016. I've been a member of these other sites where they charge you, $30, $40 a month. And I put together a package that's much more affordable and offers all the things that they offer. So that's the goal there. I do offer some one-on-one coaching as well. And then one thing I always forget to mention that I should be mentioning is that when I reach 25 patrons, I will be giving away a free lifetime subscription, all sports, to one lucky winner. So we have 9 right now, guys. Once we get up to 25 over there, I'll be giving away a free lifetime subscription, all sports. I do cover NFL, MLB as well. I'm working on adding in some more sports to help you guys with DFS. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and start breaking down the slate today. If you are new to the channel, make sure you stick around to the end of the channel or end of the video as well, as I'll give you my lock of the night. We've been on a roll with that one. My number one play, my lock of the night. Let's look to keep it rolling because we've been giving some good picks out as far as that's concerned too. First game on the slate: Orlando at Boston at 7:30. Right now, this game doesn't have a total or a spread, so really not much to work with there as far as what Vegas is saying in this one. Jason Tatum is out in this one due to testing positive for COVID-19. I have seen some possibilities of maybe Boston games being canceled. I'm not sure. Jaylen Brown is listed as questionable for COVID-19 as well. Kemba continues to be out. So with no Jason Tatum, that's going to give a big bump to a guy like a Daniel Theis if he's in. He's questionable as well. So don't really have a lot set in stone. I mean, I can tell you with no Jason Tatum, we could be looking at some Pritchard, some Peyton Pritchard for sure. So he becomes an interesting option. When he was getting those 32 minutes or so and people out, he put up 37 DraftKings points, a pretty good fantasy point per minute producer. Robert Williams continues to be out, so we could see a lot of Tristan Thompson, especially if there is no Daniel Theis in this one. So Tristan Thompson would become a very good value play. And then, if Jaylen Brown's in, of course, he becomes a great play with no Jason Tatum. If he's out, Marcus Smart becomes kind of a must play. If both Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are out, we kind of have to play this guy. He's going to get all the usage on the team, so he would become a must play. And then, Grant Williams, Taco Fall. These are all guys pending injury news could get some big run as well. So we have to keep an eye on that one. Javonte Green. He's also questionable. If he's good to go and these other guys are out, he would become a really good play. And then you got Tremont Waters down here, who, if all of these guys are out, would become a good play at 3K. So we're waiting on some injury news. Just know that's the deal. Evan Fournier continues to be out on the Orlando side, which means that we're going to continue to see a lot of usage for guys like Aaron Gordon, for guys like Terrence Ross. They have nothing to worry about with Evan Fournier butting in. The only problem is they're continuing to see their price tags increase. Now, with that being said, if there is no Jason Tatum, if there is no Jaylen Brown, I do think that this Boston team is going to suffer some losses as far as how strong they are defensively. So that would make me like these guys a lot more. And I'd also be looking to Nikola Vucevic, who's the most obvious play on the Orlando side, the number one option in this offense at 9K at the center position. Tristan Thompson is a pretty good defender down low, though. So if we get no Jaylen Brown and we just have Marcus Smart, we could target a few of the wings and an Aaron Gordon and a Terrence Ross because Marcus Smart can't guard everyone. So yeah, that's my breakdown there. New York taking on Cleveland. 9,300. Andre Drummond comes into this one as questionable. But it does look like he is more so probable, so I'd expect him to go in this one. Colin Sexton continues to be out, so there's going to be some guard usage freed up for this Cleveland team. But at 9-3, Andre Drummond is the top option as always. A 2.5-point spread in favor of the New York Knicks. Over-under has yet to be released yet. But I'm not really too worried about Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson defense slowing down Andre Drummond. Definitely like him at this 9.3 price tag. He's put up 14, 24 rebounds the last 2 times out, as well as 26 and 19 points. Very good rebounder, going to be relied on heavily in this on this team with no Colin Sexton and no Kevin Love. It's going to give a usage bump up to Andre Drummond. Jarrett Allen did get traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So it's interesting to see if he's going to make his debut tonight. I would guess not. I would think he's going to be probably making his debut in the next one. But if he makes his debut, you know what? He'll have to have some immediate interest in him, and that would actually impact Andre Drummond and make me like him less. So keep an eye on that one. But, you know, as far as who I like on the Cleveland side, if he's not playing, it's Chetty Osman, it's Damian Dotson, and JaVale McGee as well at 4,500. So those would be the guys I'm looking to. Reggie Bullock continues to be questionable as well for the New York side. So let's keep an eye on that one. If he's back, he's going to get a lot of minutes. But if not, Austin Rivers becomes a good play still. Alec Burks is also questionable, but he's doubtful. So I'm not expecting him to become back in this one. So yeah, I mean, on the New York side, it's pretty clear. It's Julius Randle, it's RJ Barrett, it's Elfrid Payton. These are the 3 guys that get all the minutes and all the usage in this offense. So they're pretty easy to break down, which is a good thing because you know who you're targeting. It's just based on price tags in this matchup at 7K, at 9.1, and at 6.8. All priced pretty appropriately, I'd say, for the most part. All with room for upside. Of course, my preferred option is Julius Randle at 9.1 if you can fit him in it, but he's priced accordingly. But this guy's got 50-plus point upside every single time he takes the floor. He can rebound, he can pass, he can score, he can do it all. So Julius Randle is definitely my number 1 option. Moving further along, Dallas at Milwaukee. Luka Doncic at 11K. This game comes with a 226.5 over/under with a 6-point spread in favor of the Milwaukee Bucks. And I'm excited for this one because we have Kristaps back. I don't know if he's going to go for this one, but he does look like he's probable, so he should be good to go. We have Drew Holiday, who's listed as probable, and we have a close game finally in this Milwaukee side because Milwaukee's just not fun to play anyone. It's not going to be a close game. And we have Luka taking on Giannis. So I think a really interesting matchup here where I don't know if we're necessarily going to have the value like we've had the last few slates with all the value opening up, but if we do with all these injuries and stuff and we could throw in the cheap guys, you know, I had mentioned last night playing a Steph Curry and a Nikola Jokic because they're the 2 clear studs on their team, and if you did that, it would have worked out great, filling in the value in with guys like a Sterling Brown, guys like a Jason Tate, or Jayshawn Tate. You know, you would have been really good if you did that. And I think the same rule applies in this one. You know, I would love playing a Luka Doncic and a Giannis Antetokounmpo. These other guys are decent as well. Chris Middleton at 8.2. I just think he's priced, you know, pretty appropriately. Chris Middleton could definitely go out there and get you, you know, 55 DraftKings points or so at this price tag. 60 DraftKings points, he'd be happy, but he's kind of do so up in the 8K range. Kristaps Porzingis played 21 minutes, put up 27 DraftKings points last time. That's great and all, but, you know, that's not really tournament winning upside until he's a full go, until he's fully healthy. I'm not looking to play him at this 8,000 price tag. You know, I'd be looking to a Luka. And then you could play a Drew Holiday at 7.2, who is, you know, the most underpriced superstar on this team. He's a guy I continue to have interest in because, you know, you could play him or Chris Middleton, but if you play Chris Middleton, he's up in the 8K range. Drew Holiday's in the 7K range, and last time he put up 45 DraftKings points. So he has the same upside as Chris Middleton, and he's $1,000 cheaper. So that's why I'd be going to him. The Dallas side, it continues to be no DFS Dorian Finney-Smith, no Josh Richardson. Dwight Powell and Maxi Kleber are questionable. So we're going to have to keep an eye on these guys because that does impact the rest of the rotation if they're back. But if they're still continue to be out, James Johnson and Willie Cauley-Stein continue to be good value plays. And you could throw in a Boban Marjanovic, who got 15 minutes last time. I put a 14 DraftKings price, but he was only 3K, and now he's up to 3.4. I liked him a lot when he was at that minimum salary because there's a possibility of him getting you like 25 DraftKings points, but now that he's up, not quite going there. And yeah, that's pretty much my overall. I would be looking to a Luka and a Giannis, obviously, mainly the 2 main candidates. I think Drew Holiday's underpriced. Then you could be looking to some value in the front court and a Willie Cauley-Stein or James Johnson. if those forwards and those guards remain out, as well as a Trey Burke with no Jalen Brunson. Trey Burke makes sense. The only problem is he's priced up to 4.9 as opposed to, he was priced down to 3K. But at 4.9, he can still put up 40 DraftKings points. I mean, Trey Burke's a good fantasy point per minute producer, so he makes sense. Memphis taking on Minnesota. Karl-Anthony Towns comes in at 9.9. This game comes in with a 224.5 over-under with a 2-point spread in favor of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Karl-Anthony Towns is questionable, but it's looking like he's probable, so he should be good to go. And Ja Morant is questionable as well after being out for a while here, so yeah, I don't know. He's questionable, so he could be back. If he's back, that's going to spice things up for the Memphis side that we've been targeting a lot. But on the Minnesota side, it's pretty straightforward. It's Karl-Anthony Towns. It's D'Angelo Russell. These guys are the ones that are going to get all the usage. Karl-Anthony Towns is 9.9. He's been putting up around 50 DraftKings points a game. That's decent, but he can't shoot the three ball. And in this matchup against Memphis, I think he is one he can really excel. I expect this game to be, pretty lackluster in defense, even though it's not the highest total in the world. I don't think he'll have an issue matchup-wise. D'Angelo Russell, same thing, pretty consistent in the mid-40s in DraftKings points, but he's up at 8.3. So should we be playing these guys on a slate where we have other options? I don't know. We'll determine that as we go along the slate here, but it seems as if they're priced pretty appropriately. Malik Beasley, same thing applies to him, 7.1. He put up 48 DraftKings points last time out against the same Memphis squad, but now that he's up to 7.1, he's really got to get you there, and he's competing with the usage of Karl-Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. So if Ja Morant continues to be out, you got to like Tyus Jones, Dillon Brooks, Brandon Clark, Kyle Anderson, all these guys, because the Minnesota defense has been dreadful this year. They don't scare me one bit. They're very bad at defending transition. They're very bad at defending the three ball. They're very bad at defending everything. So I do like all of these guys. My first two targets would be Tyus Jones and Dillon Brooks because of their usage and their ability to shoot the three ball. There is no Ricky Rubio or Juancho Hernangomez in this one, so that's going to give a little more playing time to guys like an Anthony Edwards. So I'd like him even more. He's been getting around, 20 minutes a game. I'd expect him to get more up, so towards 30. And Vanderbilt and Culver. The only problem is that, this Minnesota squad rotation's a little spread out thin. They're throwing minutes around to everyone. Josh Okogie's questionable. He's more so probable, though, so there's another 20-some minutes you're going to be throwing in the rotation. So I'm really looking towards Karl-Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell is what it comes down to. And then on the Memphis side, you could play Jonas Valanciunas because Karl-Anthony Towns is not good defensively. JV put up 50 in this matchup last time. I could see him having another big game, so I like him. Chicago at Oklahoma City. Zach Levine comes in with a 9.5 price tag now. They finally decided to price him up. A guy that I was playing a lot early on in the season. Now I don't know if I can play him. Comes in against this OKC team, 1-point spread in favor of the Oklahoma City Thunder. A 9.5 price tag. That's a big adjustment to Zach Levine. I mean, he has put up 59 and 66 DraftKings points the last two times out. He does seem to be, the main focal point in this offense. He is a very good fantasy point producer. But at a 9.5 price tag and having to take on the defense of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I'm not too sure I want to go there. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a very good on-ball defender, and Zach Levine getting priced up the most he's been priced up all season. Seems like a spot I might, not want to be on. That's just my lean, if you want my honest opinion. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on the other side, though, I do have a lot of interest in him. I'm not all too worried about the Bulls defense. After putting up 51 and 55 DraftKings points, he's only put up 33 and 20. Has seen his price dip back down to 7.7, so I think we can jump back on the Shai Gilgeous train. Lauri Markkanen is questionable in this one. Otto Porter Jr. is questionable in this one. But Lauri Markkanen is looking likely to return. Otto Porter is looking probable, so expect these guys to all be back in the rotation. Then you got Darius Bazley questionable on the Oklahoma City side, and he is a true questionable. So Wendell Carter Jr. is going to take a hit with Lauri Markkanen coming back. He's not going to become as appealing. He's up to 6.2 now. He's priced up. I probably wouldn't be looking at him. Lauri Markkanen, his first game back, if we get news that he's a full go, I'd like him, but he's been out for 7 games, so I'm assuming he's going to be on a minutes limit. Probably not going to be going there. Thad Young's going to take a big hit. He becomes pretty much unplayable with Lauri Markkanen returning. This whole Chicago rotation is going to become kind of not as appealing because they've all been priced up for their current roles, and now Lauri Markkanen's coming back. So not really trying to go there, honestly. Otto Porter Jr. I'd expect to be limited. I think all these guys are just going to feed into the rotation, feed into the minutes, and I'm not really going to have any interest in them. And then on the Oklahoma City side, I really only have interest in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If Baisley is out, that's going to open up more minutes for an Isaiah Roby, for a Pokusevski. So these guys would become a lot more interesting at their price tags at 3-3, and then Mike Muscala as well at 3-3. But once again, kind of a deep rotation where they're all going to be digging into each other's minutes. So be interesting to see how my projections grade out at the end of the day when I'm making those updates for all my Patreon members over there. Atlanta at Utah at 8-7. Trae Young at the top. This game comes in with a 224.5 over-under. Not exactly the fastest pace with a 6-point spread in favor of the Utah Jazz. Trae Young continues to see his price tag fall, and for good reason. He's been kind of underwhelming to start the season. You know, you're lucky if you get to like mid-40 DraftKings points, it seems. So, could you play him and jump on this lower price tag? Yeah. Do I feel great about it? Not really. He's dealing with a wrist injury as well. He's been battling a wrist injury, so something just seems up with Trae Young. He doesn't seem right. I wouldn't try to be going there. I'd have more interest in his teammate in Clint Capella at 6-7. Even though he has a tough matchup taking on Rudy Gobert, this guy can definitely get you there at 6-7. It's based on his price tag. Good tournament play. Not exactly my favorite center on the slate, but and I do really like DeAndre Hunter. So DeAndre Hunter's been seeing around, upper 30s in minutes a game. After a blowout last time, he only saw 23 minutes. I'd expect him to get back up. And he's been scoring, 38, 34, 37 DraftKings points. I really do like DeAndre Hunter at the 6K price tag. And Cam Reddish and Kevin Huerter at 4-8 and 5-3 are also the guys that can both get it hot from behind the arc and put up big performances for you over on DraftKings at their price tags. I'd be looking at these guys instead of Trae Young personally. Because there is no Danilo Gallinari and there is no Bogdanovich, so that's going to open up those minutes and the usage for Kevin Huerter and Cam Reddish, and you don't have to worry about those other guys digging into their usage. Speaking of that, Joe Ingles remains out. Derek Favors is questionable in this one, but it doesn't look like he's probable, so he's good to go. So I'd expect him to get a few more minutes. He becomes interesting. Not really my top option, but I do have a lot more interest in Royce O'Neal and Bogdanovich on the Utah side, just because Joe Ingles not being in is going to dig into their minutes less, and they're both priced at 5-3, 5-4. Both have upside at their price tag. So, and then Jordan Clarkson, the sixth man off the bench, you could be looking to, and then of course Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. Jordan Clarkson, in a very good matchup taking on this Atlanta team. Off the bench, I really do like him. Probably the most out of anyone I've mentioned so far on the Utah side. And then Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert and Mike Conley are the ones that are getting all the usage, full time. Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell are priced pretty appropriately, honestly. So I don't really have interest in them based on their price tags. I'd rather play a Mike Conley and a Jordan Clarkson. So those would be my two favorite options on that side. I really like DeAndre Hunter at the Atlanta side, and then I like throwing in a Bogdanovich and a Kevin Huerter, Cam Reddish. That's pretty much my breakdown there. Moving on to the next one, New Orleans at the Los Angeles Lakers. Anthony Davis and LeBron James are questionable, as they are every single game. So I assume they're playing. They're good to go. Anthony Davis comes in with a 9-8 price tag, an 8.5-point spread in favor of the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, honestly. Play LeBron James, play Anthony Davis. Most likely, they're both not going to get you there with tournament-winning upsides. So you're picking one. If I'm picking one, I'm going to continue to pick LeBron James. He's just been the more authoritative figure in the offense early on, I guess you could say. But New Orleans might have a hard time keeping this game close, and if that becomes the case, it's hard to play either of those guys. But if you're running it back with the guys on the other side, Brandon Ingram, I do like a lot, taking on his former team. There's a little bit of a revenge narrative here. I think he's going to want to show every single time he plays the Lakers for the rest of his career. They kind of gave up on him. I like him. I like Zion Williamson, a guy that I was really going to be high on at his 7-9 price tag last time out if he wasn't ruled out because of health protocols. And now he's back in. Problem was, on that slate, actually, he was priced at 7-3. And I was really high on that. Now they're going to price back up to 7-9. I don't know why. He literally didn't play. But it becomes a little less appealing at the 7-9 because he was down to like 7-3, and I was really excited about that one. But 7-9, still a valid play, just not as excited about it. Lonzo Ball continues to be out. Eric Bledsoe is questionable. If he's back, he becomes a great play with no Lonzo. If he continues to be out, we can continue to play guys like a Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He was only 3-1 last time and was an absolute lock because when this guy gets an opportunity, he can definitely ball, and he put up 52.5 DraftKings points. So I would still have interest in him at this 4-4 if Eric Bledsoe continues to be out alongside Lonzo Ball. If Eric Bledsoe's back, not as interested. Would become a harder play. JJ Redick at 3-8 is also a valid play. 28 minutes last time I put up 25 DraftKings points. He was only down to 3-3 though, so I would lean going towards Nickeil Alexander-Walker if I'm picking one of those, pretty easily. And yeah, that's what I'd be looking to in this one. The Los Angeles Lakers side, if Anthony Davis and LeBron James are in, I'm not really looking to target anyone on this team. You could play a Montrezl Harrell at 5'6", who has a lot of upside off the bench. He would make some sense. But other than that, not really looking to anyone on their side. Unless we get news that Anthony Davis is out, then we get more usage for the forwards and the big man. If LeBron James is out, we get more usage for the guards. Los Angeles Clippers taking on the Sacramento Kings. Last game on the slate. Kawhi Leonard comes in at a 9.6 price tag. This game comes in with a 229.5 over/under. 6-point favorites are the Los Angeles Clippers, so expect it to be a pretty close game, which immediately makes me like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I always say if it's a close game, these two guys get all the usage. They're both priced in the mid 9K range, which is a lot better price for a superstar than a lot of other guys you'd be paying. For instance, if you're paying up for like a Luka Doncic or Giannis Antetokounmpo, you're paying 11 something. And these guys have the same upside on a given night. Against the Sacramento team, I think this could be the given night because Sacramento is not good defensively. They don't worry me at all. So I like Kawhi Leonard. I like Paul George. Buddy Hield is probable. Finally getting some more upside games out of him. He put up 38 minutes last time out with 47 DraftKings points. That was against a Portland team that, it was expected to be a very fast-paced game and a lot of scoring. So a little bit of a different scenario here, having to take on the wing defense of Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, etc. But still have to like De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield. De'Aaron Fox got priced up to 8-1 again, which makes you like him not so much. To be honest, I just don't want to play for that price tag for him. You could play a Halliburton at 6-7 instead, who put up 38 DraftKings points last time out. Halliburton and Buddy Hield priced much more appropriately than De'Aaron Fox, or not appropriately, underpriced. So I like them better. Rashawn Holmes at 6'8", I'd like as well. He continues to be a very good fantasy point producer. 36 and 35 minutes the last two times out. You love to see the minutes, and you love to see the fantasy points. 47 and 39 DraftKings points. So Rashawn Holmes, definitely a good center play at 6'8". I like him a lot. And then you could play Marvin Bagley at 5'4" if you want. He's not really getting the full-blown minutes is my only problem, but if he gets the minutes, he can definitely get you there. Last time he got around 30 minutes in his highest scoring game, he put up 46 DraftKings points, but he honestly has not looked that good this year. I was watching some games live of him playing, and just the eye test, he did not pass, so I'm just not really all that interested in playing Bagley. Hassan Whiteside continues to be limited in his minutes, so I'm not looking to go there. So pretty self-explanatory. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. I like Buddy Hield, Halliburton, and Rashawn Holmes. You could play a Harrison Barnes. You could play a Serge Ibaka, but that's about pretty much the extent of my interest in this one. So yeah, with all that being said, hope you stuck around to the end of the video because it's lock of the night time. Let's get into it. And my lock of the night tonight is going to be Marcus Smart at this 7.6 price tag. Jason Tatum has already been ruled out. That's going to open up a lot more uses for Marcus Smart. Jaylen Brown questionable. If he's out, Marcus Smart just becomes even more of a smash play at this price tag. I absolutely love him tonight. I think he's going to take on a lot more responsibility in the offense. Marcus Smart, a guy that could definitely get it hot from behind the arc. Even if he doesn't get hot from behind the arc, if you give this guy on-ball handling duties, he's going to give you assists, he's going to get you rebounds, he's going to get you blocks, he's going to get you steals. Very scrappy player. He'll get you fantasy points any way possible. And in an increased role in this one, I absolutely love Marcus Smart. Make sure you get him in your lineups tonight because he is my lock of the night. So there you have it, guys. Marcus Smart. Make sure you get him in your lineups. He's my lock of the night. If you enjoyed the content at any point in this video, if you could leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, I greatly appreciate it, guys. On the road to 400 subscribers, we reached the 300 mark. Thanks to you guys. Appreciate the support. Make sure you check out my Patreon packages. Link below in the description if you're interested in some further content from me, some more advanced stuff to help you win some money. That's all from me. I wish you all the best of luck tonight, and we will see you in the next one.